guys, this is Lala Legacy, and welcome back to another episode of Little Busters. I am here again with my roomie.
Hi!
Oh!
You said to be louder, so I said hi!
Yeah, good. See, there's your voice right there. Good. Good job.
Don't you do it!
Patronize you. and as you can hear from the snorting in the background, Santa Kaibo is back too.
Hi.
Yeah. All right.
No, mine said a Kaibo and Rumi.
Oh. My goodness.
She's getting like overprotective, like damn.
I also forgot to bring up the guide walkthrough. Yes, you guys, I'm cheating.
People know I'm doing that on Pocket.
Anyways, oh boy. Yeah, she spit on my screen. How dare. How dare.
Anyway, so it was a proper Masato cry for you guys, since you guys have not had a proper Masato cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry guys.
Anyways, let's jump in now. After like a minute and a half of just us talking. I had to clear up that nagging doubt no matter what to ease my distraught mind. I was probably worrying needlessly, doing something unnecessary. It's all good if that happens to be the case. But where on earth was she? I'd be able to relax if I only knew. Even if I tried to think of places she might have gone off to, there was only one that came to mind, the Zelkova tree in the courtyard.
Uh-oh. Wait, what happened now?
Nishizono is missing, basically.
Oh, Jesus Christ. She just probably went ahead to go read.
Well, she's looking for her book.
Oh.
I went up to the 4th floor. I went down to the 1st floor. I checked the passageway.
Where's the courtyard?
and the school gate.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh my.
I had to fix my phone.
The cafeteria.
What about the library?
And the sports ground. I stole a sidelong glance at everyone practicing there. Bye. And once more to the courtyard.
Why not check the library?
I don't know. Nishizono-san wasn't there, but Rin was. Rin, have you seen Nishizono-san? Well, I have. Really? Where'd she go? Well, I don't know.
Oh, Jesus.
I was just looking for the ball. Did someone hit the ball all the way over here again? She had the ball in her hands. Seems like she found it already. Well, I saw her under that tree a while ago. Seems like she's not there anymore. Looks like she didn't ask Nishizono-san about the ball's whereabouts. Well, nothing I could do about that now. Thanks. Sorry I was of no help. Riki, aren't you coming to practice? Sorry, I'll be there later. Oh, I see. All right, I got it. Too bad. I was just a little late. If only I knew her phone number, I could have avoided this mess. Not being able to get in touch with one another and passing each other by here and there, it's like in some old drama. I checked every place where I thought she might be, but she was nowhere to be found. Blindly searching any more in this large school wouldn't turn up any results, I figured. The only place left was the dorm.
Oh boy.
The girls' dorm.
Wait a minute. Now, I just noticed something from since the last time I recorded with you guys. You're giving her Ren the Orion name, the voice.
Mm-mm.
Really? You sing voices?
Orion's just like this.
Oh, okay, never mind. It sounded so much like it, so I apologize.
Standing in front of the entrance to the dorm was Nishizono-san. She was just about to go in. Nishizono-san! She slowly turned around at the sound of my voice.
Oh, her or me?
Don't matter.
Oh, I thought that was you. Oh, yeah, that's right, it was me. What's the matter?
Perhaps all that I wished for was that she'd smile, even if only a little. What about you, Nishizono-san? What happened?
What do you mean by that?
Well, she wasn't under that Zelkova tree today. Did I have the right to ask her why? Always asking her why and what. That was probably as close as I was with her. Well, I hesitated.
I'm not doing anything.
She said as though there was nothing on her mind. But I still noticed. Deep inside her eyes was the color I hadn't seen in them before. A dim light of intense sadness. It was telling me that something bad had happened to her. The expression in her upturned eyes, it was all too familiar to me, because I too had this look before. That is why I asked. You weren't in the courtyard today. Did something happen? And she answered.
My book.
She said as if forcing out the answer.
I lost my book.
She reached out to take the hand that I extended to her, like I once did. Or like I once did when Kyosuke and everyone else held out their hands to me. Compared to their 8 hands, my own 2 might be all too unreliable, but then I'll help you look for it. Mission start.
Wait,
That
oh no.
that's what someone had said to me.
Oh god.
He was thinking like Kyosuke's voice in his head being like, Mission start!
Mission start.
Yup.
Sorry.
Once again, we entered the classroom, this time together. Neither Kurugaya nor anyone else was in the classroom anymore. Avoiding the dazzling rays of the setting sun that permeated the room from the window, we walked up to her desk.
I'm sure I put it in my bag this morning.
Just to be sure, she slid her hand inside to check one more time. You had it during the afternoon as well, right?
Yes. When lunch break was over, just before I went to change,
She was thinking.
I think I put it in my bag. I don't remember it clearly.
That can't be helped. She probably did it more or less unconsciously. So, you did have it before PE class. There was only a short time between the beginning of 5th period and the moment she noticed her loss, during which the book went missing. She had been in the classroom since the end of PE, so in fact, the time frame was only 1 period long. Within that time, the book had been lost. Do you know if anybody else lost something? This was the room where the girls had been changing. Considering this, it wouldn't be so strange if there were some other people with bad intentions.
No, I don't think so.
Well, that's how it is. If that had been the case, it would have caused a much bigger uproar.
Yeah.
I let out a sigh unintentionally. What a bummer.
Nail-san.
Naoi.
Dang it, I did it again. Nae-san, please don't worry about it. It can't be helped if we can't find the book.
But it couldn't just go missing on its own. There must be a reason for it. For example, maybe it was someone's ill-willed prank, like hiding her book somewhere or perhaps stealing it. I don't think she even considered this possibility. Naturally, I recalled those girls at the end of lunch break, but it was wrong to blame my classmates without any kind of evidence.
The book itself is just a thing.
Oh, look at her sad face,
I
though.
know. Even if I never find it, there's nothing to get upset about. It's not out of print, so I'll just have to buy a new one.
She seemed to be fighting back tears even while putting up a strong front.
Aw, poor girl. What's precious are the words written in it. What's important for me are those words. I read it so many times I've memorized it all. Whoops.
Yeah.
That's why even if I never find it, I'm perfectly fine.
But you'd be happy if you found it.
That's right.
Her determined face.
I don't know if I even did that justice.
Then let's search for a bit longer. I have yet to help you.
Do people tell you that you're meddlesome?
Maybe I am. If you want to call someone meddlesome, that would be Kyosuke and everyone else.
Yeah.
I'm simply imitating them.
What if someone hid it on purpose? It would really hurt me if that were the truth. Do you still think we should look for it? Are you aware that there are people who would never imagine that an innocent prank could be unbearably painful to others?
Of course I am. There are those with bad intentions in this world. But I believe that there are just as many people with good intentions in this world. Wait, what?
No, I just said no.
Oh, I thought she did.
Like the dot, like
Oh. Let's think it over one more time.
Alright.
She stopped resisting. Nishizono-san, are you sure you still had it when you went to the classroom after lunch?
Yes, I am.
She nodded. However, you don't remember if you put it in your bag or not. She nodded again. What if you put it on your desk and started changing? Nishizono-san, where did you put your uniform when you changed?
As I thought, sexual harassment was your goal. Wait, what? No! Your intention in the...
No, you're interested.
You're interested in the uniform. What is...
Uniform
I was wondering.
wearing.
Whoops.
All flustered because of that sexual harassment.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute. There's no such thing. You would do that. Just when I was starting to think a little better of you, now, son, I realized I was mistaken.
Thinking a little better of me? So, what did she think of me before? That's discouraging. No, that's not it. If she left the book with her uniform when she changed, she should have noticed it after PE class when she changed back. But she didn't. I explained this to her.
I see. I understand now.
Do you?
My opinion of you has improved again.
It was difficult to tell her when she was being serious it was difficult to tell when she was being serious and when she wasn't. But there was no doubt that she really was troubled by this.
The book was already gone when I returned to the classroom.
Well, let me ask you this then. Did you make it to PE class on time?
Yes, just barely though.
She was talking to me during lunch break before she went back to class, so given her pace, she'd inevitably be late. Did you hurry to the sports field?
Yes, I did. Yes, I didn't want to be late for class.
That's why she didn't put the book in her bag. From here on, it was only conjecture rather than facts. Nishizono-san began changing, leaving her book on top of the desk, and she placed her uniform on the desk. She's organized, so she certainly folded it first. At the same time, she was doing it as quickly as possible to avoid being late for class. Even if she by chance dropped the book while doing so, she probably wouldn't have noticed.
But I did search under the desk.
Maybe somebody picked up the book. When I went into the classroom to grab my gym uniform, there were still some girls in there. They had probably began changing even later than Nishizono-san. Then they noticed the book lying on the floor. And let's think about it one more time. What I ought to believe is that they had we have to say good intentions.
Yeah, let's go
because
with good intentions.
because
maybe they turned it into the library.
And plus it's in the guide.
Well, yeah. Kind of figured that.
Yeah, we have to say good intentions.
I kind of figured it still.
You'd normally want to return a book lying on the floor to its owner. That must have been what they thought as well, but they didn't know who it belonged to. I was about the only one who knew that Nishizono-san was reading this book in the courtyard. Assuming that they had accidentally kicked the book, which was lying on the floor, they couldn't figure out where it had originally been either. It's easy to understand they couldn't determine its owner. Those were simply my assumptions through and through, and I was afraid that that I was just thinking about it too much. But if I was right, they picked up somebody else's book. They wanted to return it but couldn't, and PE was about to start. So they would put it in their own desk and put off looking for the owner until later. But then they forgot about it, or perhaps left it for tomorrow. It might be inside one of the girls' desks.
One of the girls?
I told her what I saw after lunch. It's just a guess, though. One of those girls might have it.
But it's also possible that none of them have it.
Well, yeah, but I think it's worth finding out. I remembered their faces. I've never really had the chance to talk to them. Whoopsie. Ah! If they found out I searched their desk, they'd surely hate me.
Oh well. Wait, what?
Yeah. It accidentally skipped. She lapsed into silence.
Now, son,
Yeah?
I'll be looking out. Or, I'll be
Be
the
the
lookout.
lookout.
Oops.
Yeah, okay. Well, hold on. Why am I the one doing it?
I thought that's what you were getting at. Was I mistaken?
Well, rather than mistaken, wouldn't
You're
it be
assuming.
wouldn't it be better that a girl looks at another girl's desks?
In, in for a penny, in for a pound.
She just said something scary. I sighed. All right. Tell me right away if you see anyone. I tried the first desk. I felt something. Yeah, something soft. Bread?
Is something wrong?
No, it's nothing. There also were notes, dictionaries, handouts, and other stuff. She probably hadn't taken anything home yet, since it was the beginning of the new term. I wasn't one to talk, though. My own desk was pretty messy. I tried to search while leaving as little trace as possible, but I couldn't find anything resembling a book. But man, was it messed up. Seems like girls' desks aren't necessarily all that tidy. You should have seen my desk at school.
I was fucking up his ass.
I had food in mine. I was a Masato.
The rice king.
I tried the second desk. This one was immaculate. I couldn't find anything at all. Is she taking everything home with her every day? That's impressive in a way. I looked at Nishizono-san, standing beside the door. Without a word, I shook my head, and she emotionlessly hung her head in response. Now time to check the third desk. Ito-san's desk. The probability was even lower now, but if it weren't here either, I'd be out of clues.
Then, magically...
Okay, here we go. I carefully took the book out. It was a normal paperback book with a green cover. The cover was worn thin in places, proof that it had been thoroughly read many times by its owner. Here it is.
Huh?
Isn't this the one?
Yes, it is.
She nodded her head quietly.
That's the book. I'm certain it's my book. Aww.
She held it to her, and she carefully clasped it to her chest.
I'm so glad.
Her voice was filled with genuine happiness. I am too.
Hey, she's smiling.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because I now know that you could smile like that.
Now, son, you're not being sarcastic, right?
She said as a smile brightened her face.
Aww. Thank you very much. Really, thank you very much.
Nishizono-san, can I ask you something?
What is it?
Well, what kind of book is that? She remained silent for a while, and then finally answered.
That's not playing fair.
I guess it's not.
You knew I couldn't refuse to answer and still asked me anyway.
I can't deny that. Probably. It's not like I expected anything in return. You told me this before, right? What's written in that book is your own self.
Noah-san.
She interrupted me.
Here.
She handed me the book she was holding on to. May I?
I'm not so ill-natured as to say you can't at this point.
Thank you.
At this point?
Yeah, at this point.
Like,
since you helped me so much.
I know, right?
Wakayama Bokusui, a poetry collection. The title was written at the top of the cover. Wakayama Bokusui. I only knew that he was a poet who wrote from the Meiji period to the Taisho era. I turned the worn-out pages. On each page, there was a stain on the place where one would hold their thumb. All books that are read have their own special characteristic. A long period of their owner's life is engraved into their pages. It's like they're reflecting traces of their owner's heart. There was a crease in the book's spine. When my finger reached the page it was marking, it stopped as if caught by it. I opened the worn-out book, which felt like it could fall to pieces if I opened with too much force. It was a collection of tanka. Each of them was 31 syllables long. This was the page she had turned to over and over again, and this sole poem written on the page captivated my heart. The seagull, wonder if she is sad, left alone without being touched by the blue of the sky or the blue of the sea. I read it aloud in a quiet voice. I'm sure I learned it once in Japanese class. I recall that time I was supposed to read it from right to left at that time. The words had a major impact on me. I felt oblivious to my surroundings and of time. I saw the blue. Was it the sea? Or was it the sky? All around, an endless blue. It was a very, very lonesome scene. I wonder how long I kept this page open.
Nelson?
I came back to reality with the sound of her voice. I'm sorry.
The seagull. Wonder if she is sad, left alone without being touched by the blue of the sky or the blue of the sea.
She recited the poem, her voice flowing like a stream. This is a lonesome poem.
Do you think so?
I can't put it into words, but it really gives me a feeling of isolation. It's a poem about a bird unable to touch either the blue above or below it, just gliding over the sea all alone. So, do you like this poem, Nishizono-san?
I don't think it's lonesome. It's full of hope. That's what I think.
The setting sun was seeping through the window. It was already dusk. The blue of the sky was already gone. Outside was a crimson-red sky which showed itself only during the brief period between day and night. I walked closer to the window. I could see across the sports field from there. Everyone was still practicing. I had told Rin and Kurugaya-san that I'd be by later. They might be waiting for me. I'm not alone. But Nishizono-san, I need to get back to practice soon.
Baseball?
Yeah. Do you want to go with me? The words came to my mouth, but I had been turned down before. If I were turned down again, I might never have the chance to invite her again. In the end, I didn't say anything. I'll put the book back.
All right.
If she took the book back now, Ito-san would surely panic upon finding it gone tomorrow. It's all right. I'm sure she'll return it to you tomorrow, I said as cheerfully as I could, since she looked uncertain.
I hope so.
I put the book back in Ito-san's desk.
Excuse me, sorry.
You're fine. Alright, now that scene's done, let's end this episode. Oh, so that is all.
I was starting this night.
That is all the time that we have for that is all the time that we have for this episode, guys. At least two laugh at me.
I laugh only because you picked on me because I freaking screwed up because she was accusing him of sexual harassment.
Hey. But yes, that is all the time that we have for this episode, guys. So if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up down below. And if you haven't already subscribed, by subscribing, you're becoming part of a legacy. I love you guys so, so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!
Don't forget to subscribe to me!
Oh yeah, don't forget about subscribing to Seta Kaibo.
I got weird shit on my channel. Yeah. Like Pocket Beard, Mad Father, Red Haze.
Yeah.
But, okay, bye!
Bye!